ons groet vir julle almal. Ons het nog 'n klub rugby live net gehou, laat julle net weet, daar is nog ietsie werk in die pipeline. Maar GSN, ons groet vir julle almal vanaand. Good evening to everyone. Yes, I know there's going to be 42% of the English listeners tuned in tonight. Globally, we greet all of you guys, everybody that's backing us, supporting us. En vir jou by die huis, wifi is lekker sterk, loadshedding skedule is gekyk, koffietjie is gereël. Daar is 'n lekker jong man wat baie goeie werk doen, goeie journey. Ons gaan nou by hom kom, maar ek is nie alleen nie. Daar is 'n man, hy het nou weer iets nuuts bygesit. Tikkie Town en Lucian Kipido is ons broer en suster. Hulle is gelink, hulle is aan die gang. Hy is hier so Newtons Bombellas, Boland. Daar's baie goed, is 'n pik storie, maar ons is hier so the set piece. Lucian, hoe gaan dit jong man?
JP, halleluja, weer eens. Is net genade dat ons weer eens lekker by mekaar kan kom vanaand, lekker te kan rugby gesels. En ja, net almal weer in die mixing kry hierso op as jy met 'n klub rugby live hier, ons gaan moet gewoond raak aan hy is nou Global Sports Network. JP en Global Sports Network, ons het letterlik die naam verander omdat ons regtig ons vlerke wil sprei. Ons is reeds besig in chats met skaak. You know, ons het laas jaar 'n bietjie sokker gedoen, ons wil netbal doen, ons wil al hierdie goedjies doen, so wat 'n voorreg is dit om die nuwe naam vorentoe te vat. Tweede show van die jaar en dis 'n lekker gas wat saam met ons gaan gesels vanaand. Iemand wat varse Springbok try oor sy kop getrek het, so definitief stories om te hoor en lekker in te tune vanaand. So ek is reg vir 'n lekker aand JP en ek hoop dat die mense wat vir ons vanaand kyk van die huis af is ook reg om lekker saam met ons te chat. As jy ingeskakel is, sê vir ons van waar af kyk jy, saam met wie kyk jy, en natuurlik, like, share en subscribe as jy op YouTube kyk, as jy op Facebook kyk, share hy ding lekker daar, comment en tag 'n vriend of twee van jou wat graag vanaand sal wil join. Ek is seker hulle sal ook wil hoor die storie van Tristan Leyds, JP.
Definitief, Lucian, so, jy het ons nou 'n lekker naweek gehad. Jy het so 'n bietjie rugby gespeel. Klein bietjie daarby stil en doen. Eerstens, hoe het daar gegaan die naweek, voordat ons by die week uitkom?
Okay, so die naweek, Newtons Bombellas moes nog gespeel teen Good Hopes, so in Riebeek West, JP sê vir jou, toe ons daar in Riebeek aankom meneer, as jy jou speelmaat in die Swartland die meneer. Het is warm in die Swartland, ek het myself 'n bietjie derde span gejol, die veld opgemaak vir die manne, het was
maar het ons nie hoor gepraat, wat moet coaches doen?
Coaches moet coach, maar ek het mos nou vir die derde span bietjie net gaan uithelp, hulle te loskakel. Hulle te loskakel aan
so, hy het gesê coaches moet coach en 'n bietjie speel.
Kyk, hulle te loskakel aan 'n keer by die derde span, maar toe dink ek kom ek gaan help maar die manne uit, maar hoorie, kudos vir hulle regtig.
Kudos vir Good Hopes, né?
Kudos vir Good Hopes, hulle het regtig 'n goeie span daar so in Riebeek West. Manne speel 'n entertaining brand van rugby. So vroeg in die jaar, man het die offloads aan die gang gekry. Ons was in die fight gewees, maar obviously dis early days vir ons.
Hy klink baie gevaarlik as jy sê julle was in die fight.
Ja, ons was in die fight. Ons was in
die Hy klink daar was kaarte wat gegee was.
Ons het 'n paar kaarte. Ons het 'n paar, kyk ons het 'n paar kaarte gekry, 'n paar onnodige geel kaarte gekry en jy wil nie 10 sulke spanne wil jy nie met 14 man op die veld speel, die manne wat die bal skuif, manne wat offloads heeltyd aan die gang kry. Maar well done aan die manne in Riebeek West, hulle het regtig vir ons gewys dat as jy jou speelmaat in die Swartland nie. Maar ons is terug na die bord toe, ons het weer ons huiswerk gaan doen, ons speel die naweek teen Grabouw, ek bedoel JP, ons is nou eers in die vriendskaplike wedstryde en jy moet jou kombinasies toets, jy moet die ouens se fiksheid toets, vroeg in die jaar, maar regtig baie positief.
Ek sien die request is, Lucian Kipido speel die beste manne asseblief. Soos hy gesê het, as ons 'n lekker friendlies. So, dis belangrik om te kyk wie kom, wie oefen, wie's beskikbaar, wie werk nie, kombinasies, beskikbaarheid. Daar's baie goed wat 'n rol speel. So, ja, ek dink wel dan vir julle. Eersteen is uit die pad uit. En so dis altyd goed, maar jy sê daar was baie goeie opkoms. Want die mense mos honger vir rugby.
Ja, JP, daar was 'n massive opkoms actually in Riebeek West. Ek was actually verbaas geweest toe ek sien die hoeveelheid mense wat hy eerste vriendskaplike wedstryd kon kyk het en soos wat sy nou gesê het, baie manne wat besig was, daar was baie manne wat sevens gespeel het die naweek, ons, ons gee maar nog grace vir die ouens in hierdie tyd om sevens te jol, veral die naweek is dit nou die Scorpion sevens ook sterkte daar in die manne, hulle gaan Osveld gebruik die naweek, daar by die Scorpion sevens daar in Newtown en so.
Nou gebruik jy hulle maar Boland se veld.
Nou gaan ons maar op Boland Stadium gaan speel, jy weet, hoofgame vir Maties en die Cavaliers, so, dit wys soms daar werk dinge maar net vir uit, maar JP, soos wat jy nog gesê het, baie van ons manne is nog besig, manne gaan werk by die tents. Ons het letterlik by die captains was daar 'n groep squad wat nie die naweek kon gespeel het nie. En daar was 'n squad wat gespeel het, maar soos wat ons nou aanbeweeg en in die dinge gaan, obviously sal hy kan sy nie meer hy verskoning maak.
Is daar mense wat aan die lig is?
Daar's 'n heel wat 'n klomp mense wat aan die lig is. JP sien nie heel wat 'n paar manne vir ons al reeds gegroet vanaand. Marlon Williams sê goeienaand manne. Die leier daar van die Cavaliers, Marlon Williams, goeienaand my maat. Shane Jacob sê Eyster, goeienaand Shane. Enric Edgar Lee Yankees, hy sê Bella Vista teen Porterville. Ek neem aan hy is die naweek. Shane van Nieting sê Naan sê JP en Lucien, ons kom vol stoom Wellington toe. Die naweek, G-boys, au. Julle moet vol stoom kom manne, julle moet vol stoom kom. Want hoekom stil en doen, gaat verseker doen die naweek.
Net gou vinnig al baie, ons dink ook aan al die mense wat, daar's baie vure wat brand hier buite. So dis regtig waar, ek meen ek sien as ons daar deur gaan, dis baie hektiek. Jy ry letterlik deur die vure en dis nou op die pad. So wat van die mense, daar's huise wat brand, daar's regtig waar mense wat ja, dis nie goed om te sien nie, goed om te hoor nie. So asseblief, maak seker ons volg daai safety precautions, maak seker julle sorteer daai goedjies uit, doen wat julle moet. Obviously daar's seker goed wat jy nie kan beheer nie, maar daai goed wat jy kan beheer, asseblief, kyk agter julleself, kyk om julle, kyk na die buurman, want dis nie goed om te sien nie. En daar's baie skade wat aangerig word, veral in die Oeverberg.
Ja, JP, ek het gister het ek Elim toe gery. En op pad Elim toe het die hele Oeverberg is like 'n wolk van is nie missie. Jy sal dink as mis, maar is actually rook van alles wat so brand. So ons dink aan almal wat geaffekteer is in hierdie tyd met die brande. Ons bid vir julle in hierdie tyd. JP was 'n hele paar mense wat hulle huise moes onruim het ook en sulke dinge. So ons dink aan julle. En nou waar julle is by die huis, dink ook kyk ons is almal Suid-Afrikaners aan die einde van die dag. So ons dink aan julle en ons bid vir julle en ons glo dat hierdie brande, JP 4000 brande was gerapporteer. Het ek nou op die radio gehoor. Dit was nou net in Desember, Januarie gewees. So pas op vir huise gerette net uitskiet by die ruit en hy goed is en so dink aan vinnige brand veroorsaak, JP, so ons moet kyk wat ons doen en daar waar jy kan help.
En bevanna wen. Anyway, Lucien, jy doen mos nog goedjies deur die week. Hier's 'n bal, Lucien kom altyd met snaakse balle hier te sit. Verduidelik net vir die mense, wat gebeur hierso deur die week?
Ja, ek wil net voordat ons 'n klein videoetjie gaan wys met al die foto's, wil ek eers net dankie sê vir elke liewe voorsitter, elke liewe fotograaf, daar's so baie rolspelers, elke liewe speler, verteenwoordigers van Techie Town. Ek wil vir elke liewe persoon dankie sê wat die moeite gedoen het om die Techie Town Development Drive 'n sukses te maak. Ons weet tydens die Boland Top 12, elke liewe klub van die Boland Top 12 het 'n skool genomineer wat hulle graag 'n development kit wil gee. So van die 12 klubs het 3 skole gehad en natuurlik is die klubs wat tweede geëindig het 2 klubs gehad.
Recap net gou vinnig wie kry wat?
So wat die skole basically kry is, elke skool kry 'n stel van 10 balle. Hulle kry 2 lekker bumping bags, shields ja. En hulle kry 2 racks met 20 waterbottels. Ja, so dat is actually 'n awesome initiatief en JP, jy moet sien die glimlagte op die kinders se gesigte, die onderwysers uit 'n lekker tyd en as community skole en dit was so, ek was daar in Elim gewees, klein nederige skool, maar hulle was so bly en hulle was so gelukkig om die kids te hê. Hulle sê hulle gaan nou hulle tekkies by Techie Town koop. So dit is wat jy wil hê, JP, jy wil hê die borge as hulle inkoop by jou of by 'n klub of wat by die Unie is, waar ook al, die borge moet sien, jy hier's 'n ROI aan die einde van die dag. En ek dink op die einde
ROI is 'n groot woord vir 'n woensdag aand.
Hulle moet sien as 'n return on investment vir die wat JP, wat is hy in Afrikaans?
'n terugkering van 'n
Belegging, halleluja.
Ek is hier vir jou.
JP, okay, so JP, dit is, ek dink op die oomblik stel Boland regtig 'n baie goeie voorbeeld in hoe om na borge te kyk en hoe om seker te maak dat borge altyd ingelig is, dat borge regte aktiverings het. So wel dan aan oom Duitser Bosman, Franco Dupree, Alipad daarso in Johannesburg, in Potts eintlik. Hy help ook vir ons met die aktiverings en met die skole. En dan JP, ons moet dankie sê ook vir die bestuur, vir die exco van Boland Rugby Unie, Leon King,
manne met die swart baadjies,
Craig Volmoer, Marco en Lucas, Geduld Veldsmann, al die manne, Philip Humphries het 'n absolute awesome rol gespeel. Burton, niemand, hoor wat ek sê, wat 'n eyster. Ons dink aan jou Burton hierdie tyd vinnig gesond raak.
Is Denver Olsen ook aan die mix?
Denver Olsen is ook aan die mix. 'n heel paar van die manne wat die skole ook bywoon en gaan hand bysit, JP, wanneer dit kom by die oorhandiging. So baie dankie en well done. Daar's nog obviously 'n paar skole om te gaan sien vir môre, Vrydag en Maandag, so was nog nie verby nie.
Dit was goed om te sien gister. Wesley Spandeel het 'n bietjie daar Mount Pleasant. Was dit nee, dit was vanoggend gewees.
Dit was vanoggend by Mount Pleasant.
Ja, by Mount Pleasant gegaan. Ek meen een van die helde van die gemeenskap van Skrik vir niks. So hulle was 'n bietjie daar, maar dis goed. Het vir ons 'n videoetjie daar?
Ja, as 'n kort videoetjie, net 'n paar fotootjies daar soos wat ons kan sien. Hy was daarso in Wesbank gewees. Hy was daar by Bella Vista. Haas Dimitri Jacobs, daarso by Safkol. Hy's van Reinsdorp se manne. Daarso is natuurlik Demas Fortuin. Daarso is Bert wat lekker gesels. Haas Philly. Daarso in die swart Nasik, swart. Vir jou Suid-Afrika, haas die manne met die Techie Town Philly. Was regtig Philly was even in die koerant ook gewees. Haas jou span JP.
Manne het opgedag, hulle het opgedag.
En haas Philly weer en haas ons die Mamre. Ja, so dit is lekker, die foto's kom lekker sterk deur en dit was 'n lekker awesome opportunity om lekker uit te gaan na die skole toe en lekker terug te ploeg weer.
So definitief, en dan sal ons ook sien ons het mos nou lekker lidmaatskap net besig om te launch, gaan vanaand lekker daaroor gesels. Dis baie belangrik, daar's baie goed wat ons nog wil doen, baie content wat ons wil uitstuur. Ons wil die wedstryde ook obviously gratis probeer om te stream. Daai is die doelwit. So lekker kom. Vat hande met ons. Daar is die subscripsie, ek meen dis R30 'n maand, Lucian. So ek meen as ons kyk net na setup en 'n show soos dit en die uitgawes, ek meen dis klaar 'n hele paar nommers en ons doen 'n hele paar vir die maand en ons nog ander goed wat ons wil doen, lekker content deel. Julle sien daai videoetjies wat ons so skiet daarso by die velde. Ons probeer baie meer van daai goeters doen. So baie belangrik, maak seker dat jy join daarso. Gaan subscribe, Lucian, ek dink ons moet hande vat. Because we want to serve the game, we want to do so much more. En baie dankie vir een en elkeen wat uitkom en sê, well done, goeie werk. Dankie vir wat jy doen, JP, dankie vir wat jy doen, Lucian. So, dit help vir ons amazingly vir die emosie. Maar die kar kan nie ry nie. Want ons moet nog altyd, ons wil uitkom, ons moet goeders doen. So ek dink, dit is vir my net baie belangrik.
As een ding wat ek besef het, 'n kar ry nie op water nie, meneer. Jy kan nie die housepyp vat in die tank indruk en dan gaan ekie. So baie dankie aan die wat al reeds besluit het om te subscribe en vir ons te join op hierdie journey. Ons gaan net 'n lekker journey vat vorentoe. Obviously as nuwe goedes wat uitkom, ons wil na die velde toe gaan, ons wil na clubs toe gaan. Ons wil hierdie show wil ons na clubs toe vat. Ons wil gaan hoor wat in die gemeenskap ingaan. So ja, vir ons om hy dinge te dryf en natuurlik julle gaan lekker topklas aksie kan sien elke naweek ook.
So ek dink net gou vinnig, Lucian, ek het ietsie gegryp hierso.
Terwyl jy kyk, groet ek gou nog 'n paar manne hierso.
Ja, groet gaan nog vir hulle.
So van Aswegen sê, yes gents, en hy sê Bombella's bo. Halleluja, Ashi. Goed om vir jou te sien, Bishop Wim Fransman, Alipad uit Citrus Dalek. Bishop, ek sien mos vir jou die 24ste Februarie. Volgende maand sien ons haar vir Citrusdal op Bombella Park, so in Newtown. Hy sê goeienaand, Bombellas en SWN. Akilio Magerman sê Steenberg Kous versus Velder Rugby Club op Paternoster. Mario Kok, groetetjie manne, hy sê goeienaand rugby manne. Bishop sê Demas Fortuin, ja, ek het Demas doen op die oomblik goeie werk aan die Noordweste.
Ja, ek het gesien hom gewys op die foto.
Uitstekende werk vir Boland Club Rugby aan die Noordweste, well done. En dan sê Adrian Jacob sê yes manne. Angelo Pitsrose sou sê Bombella se hoofcoach bo my vriend. Halleluja my bra. Ons vat hom vorentoe.
So net gou vinnig van die mense 'n bietjie 'n shout-out. Dis een van die goed waar ons gesels. manne wat lekker gesubscribe het. Ons net 'n paar van hulle wat ons vanaand gaan noem. So Ashley Swarts, baie dankie vir jou. Dan het ons ook vir Null Page. Shout out daar vir Null Page, Philip D, Anrich, ons groet vir jou, Estie Lottering, Roshan Tashwell, een van die manne wat ook lekker daar opgesign het, Wallin Roos, Marshall Manuel, Juan Evan Constable. So ek weet nie of hy sy rang is of sy van is hier, maar hy is in die mix. En dan Alistair Jefter. So baie dankie vir julle wat bietjie gesubscribe het, wat in is. Maar Lucian, daar word golf gespeel. Ek weet nie of jy kan speel nie.
JP, ek sal baie graag die stok wil swaai. Ek dink ek gaan een of ander tyd seker die stok wil swaai. Een van die voormanne wat voor my gekom het, Miles Monroe, het gesê die eerste keer toe hy bol geslaan het, weet ek, dis waar hy wou wees. En toe later sien hy nog hier's al die manne wat die geld het op die golfbaan is. So dalk eendag sal jy van my op die golfbaan sien, JP, maar vertel ons bietjie meer oor ons golfdag.
Ja, so ons het 'n golfdag daar so 10de Maart op 'n Sondag. Ons begin so af van 11:30 af. Gaan ons bietjie, ja, obviously tee off wees. So die voorbal, daar is die pryse vir die vierbal en daar's 'n prize giving en julle sal ook sien daar so vir 'n watergat 1250 sponsoring of a water hole en dan is ook 'n lucky draw en obviously baie goeie bemarking en ek dink met die platform wat ons het op die oomblik, die bemarking, ja, daar's baie plek vir bemarking vir die besighede daar buite vir traction.
Baie.
Net om julle 'n idee te gee, daai eenvoudige videoetjies wat ons skiet, né? Is 15, 20, 30.000 views. 'n eenvoudige video, want die mense wil die content sien, die mense wil sien hulle is by die veld, hulle is aksie. En daar's nog so baie goed wat ons wil doen. So daai is die golfdag, Lucian. En dan gou vinnig man, ek dink ons voor ons net gou verder gaan. Daar's mos nou 'n game gewees die naweek.
Ons het gepraat oor die game laas naweek. Daar was 'n beker in die studio gewees.
Hy was hier gewees. Daar was 'n song gewees, maar ek hoor die song se naam is verander. Daar was mos altyd, maar ek wil vir Safko speel die naweek te hoor ek, maar ek wil vir Mati speel. Dan het jy maar vir Mati gesing. Ek weet nie so mooi van daai storie nie, maar kom ons kyk gou vinnig. Bou Sandpark, Kabamba Floors, Coach Brendan, Dimitri, Romano Lekay, Ilam, Driekus. Jo, daar was legends oorgeseld en natuurlik die Ibrahim Patel beker, sy seun was daar om te oorhandig. Ja, it was history. It was written. So kom ons kyk gou vinnig hoe het geskiedenis gelyk op Bou Sandpark. WP champs, Poland champs. 71, 19. Ibrahim Patel beker. Dit het gebeur. Maties het hom gevat.
JP, ek het laasweek toe ons hier gestaan en gesels het of hier gesit en gesels het op die show, toe sê ek jou nou, Maties kom van laas jaar af uit 'n 6 weke, 7 weke.
Jy klink so ander man. Was jy ou wat laasweek gee vir my 'n score prediction. Gee vir my 'n score prediction. Die manne lag hier agter die skerms. Gee vir my 'n score prediction.
Ja, manne score prediction gesoek. Maar JP, hy manne kom uit 'n 6 weke off season uit. Hulle kom nou uit 'n 2-3 weke pre-season uit. Hy manne maak reg vir oorlog in die Varsity Cup, terwyl Safkol obviously great gedoen laas jaar gewen en hulle het nou eers weer begin. So dit sal altyd 'n opwaartse kurwe gewees het vir hulle of 'n opwaartse mars. Maar ek like wat Dimitri gedoen het daar op Facebook. Hy sê ek weet nie waaroor gaan die mense so aan nie. Toe post hy 'n pic van Jacob Zuma wat R100 hou. Ons weet mos waaroor dit gaan. So well done vir Safkol. Ek dink regtig die yskrembak het ordentlik oorgeloop. Daarso op Bousan Park die naweek en hulle is uitgesort vir die jaar.
Julle ek baie netjies vanaand G-Sports way. Baie dankie vir julle dat hulle Evolution uitgesort het. Ander kere is hy 'n visie. So vanaand baie dankie. G-Sports kom lekker deur hier vir ons. But history was made. There was unity. Ons het deur die hele week Ibrahim Patel, go read about him. Amazing werk gedoen. Unity, Toby Titus, Stok Snyders, baie ouens, Mark Alexander, hy het ook gesels, en Pieter Jooste, wat by die veld ook was, en Danny Jones, rol verander ook nou by WP, julle sal sien. So, gesiende manne, gekende manne, maar well done vir 'n Manolokense span, wat alles by mekaar gesit het. So dit was Safkol, mense sport, of speel, whatever, but when you are going in front, mense gaan agterna kom, hulle gaan chirp, hulle gaan die chihuahuas gaan jou hakke hap, klomp goed gaan gebeur. But history was made, they paved the way, well done to Safkol, maar daar's 'n paar ander resultate, friendlies, want ek voel, hier is op my phone vibrate, die mense soek die gas op die show, so ons gaan nou vir hulle die gas gee, laat ons net gou vinnig, die friendlies na kyk, Lucien, vat ons wat deur.
Ja, as 'n hele paar results, Citrusdal wat vir goed verwag daar geklop het, 40-7, de Dorings verloor, 10 Woester Villagers, wat lyk asof hulle hierdie jaar dalk 'n team gaan wees daar so in die Breë Langeberg, ons hou vir Woester Villagers altyd dop, Good Hopes, klop vir Newtons, 40-8, het was eintlik 21 JP, Goudini klop vir Universals 29-12, Piketberg 15-10, Never Space 28, Rosenwil 36, Riebeek United 26 en as hy skop van Safkol en Maties 19-71. Struisbaai en Rangers Robertson, goeie wedstryd, goeie voorseisoen wedstryd.
Waar speel Struisbaai? Wat se divisie?
Speel hulle nie Oorberg nie?
Ja, maar hulle speel
speel hulle dan gemeenskapskap? Nie gemeenskap, hulle speel dan streekuitdag. So hy is dan 'n massive wen daarso vir Struisbaai oor Rangers Robertson. Swel en dan verloor die McGregor 17-28 Veldra 45.
Sorry man, ek hoor halftyd het die manne 'n paar snoeke deurgewerk.
By Veldra.
Struisbaai. So Robertson het nog nie, hulle was nie so lekker aangeswitch vir daai
protein.
So dis waar hulle die skoot deurgewerk het.
Soutvis protein. Woolsley klop vir La Placente 34-10.
Ek hoor Woolsley het hy 3 meter slot.
Het Woolsley nou 'n 3 meter? O ja.
As net een in die bol, as twee. As een in Garabou,
is wil naby
en een in Bella. Bella hy het nou oorbeweeg daar so Woolsley toe saam met Kitli Cederas.
Ja.
So interessant, né?
Okay, baadjies, ja.
Maar hy is 'n Woolsley man.
Ja, hulle is van Woolsley, ja, so is lekker om te sien die manne is weer terug tuis by die huis en dan die Young Goodos van Ashton verloor teen Montetjie by die huis.
Lucien uit die consulting. Hulle kom sterk deur. Hulle support vir ons. Hulle is daar. Maar nou is daar 'n video wat gaan speel. So daar weer is, né? Maak gou seker jy share die link. Jy comment, vat hy link. Daarby share, vat jy hom. WhatsApp. In die hoekie. Koepa, gooi hom, maar druk hier die knop hier onder, dat is op jou WhatsApp sites. Baie belangrik, want die wat julle nou gaan sien julle nie elke dag nie. Baie talent, baie energie, amazing story. Hou gou vinnig die hoogtepunte dop.
To a perfect attendance. Change of direction. Leyds finds the space. Leyds still going. Leyds puts it to his boots. Chases it. How is it going to bounce? In his favour. Tristan Leyds. Barbato lets it go. Kirkley Orenser. Open space. And that will be his 8th try this season for UWC.
Ruck now! Ruck! Shut down!
Now the
It's over.
stab. Oh, to Leyds. Goodness me, it's worked out. Tristan Leyds. One man to beat. Let's it go. Back to Leyds. Will it be? Tristan Leyds steps outside, inside. Outside again. Lets the pass go. What? Some of the best interplay you will see.
Outstanding play, the interplay between the two backs here, and this move here from Leyds, a little flick inside.
Chipped over, Leyds in pursuit, bounces perfectly. Tristan Leyds gets his second. He's got a knack this evening for having the ball bounce of kicks and fielding it perfectly.
Stay.
Jumats. We've seen the kicking used a lot. Leyds is waiting for it. It's come onto his boot. Fielded it, gives it back. Orisa. Goodness me, Lubello Scott is gonna do it. Lubello Scott takes.
And it's a penalty, South Africa. And then they go quickly. Here's Tristan Leyds, another debutant in the blitz box. And he'll get his first try for South Africa. Take a look at this. They'll all run in. They'll all congratulate him. They always make a big deal of these moments, South Africa.
That is, it's a moment in time there. First try on the series, and from the look of him, we'll see many more, and it's the awareness to go quickly. South Africa love it, and he's learned it already. What a great moment for him, celebrated by his teammates here in Perth.
Well, his elder brother, Dylan, used to play for the Western Force here. And when he was picked for this team, he got on the phone, he FaceTimed Dylan, who's now with La Rochelle in France. And he said his big bro was just so proud of him to be coming to Perth to be playing for South Africa.
Yeah, it was pretty special to score on debut. I think it was towards the end of the game. Everything just happened so quickly. Went for the quick tap. Captain was shouting, no, but I already tapped it and space opened up. As I dotted the ball down, was trying to let the clock tick down, but then I saw the boys coming to run at me, and then I was like, amazing moment. And I could just see how special it was for them as well.
Tristan Leyds, hy is hier so. Julle het hom gesien, hy is hier so. Man van Strand, Bishops, UWC, lekker deur die ranks gekom. Hy is op die groot stage, VP gevat, aan die gang. Brought a different dimension to rugby. There was a predecessor, and then there was obviously Tristan. And now we saw the potential that he's got. But we've got him in studio. Ons gee vir julle die beste, man. Ons probeer vir julle die beste gee. Sort hy membership uit, dan kan nie nog manne kom. Tristan Leyds. Hy is hier so, ja? Dis hoe hy lyk. In lewende lywe.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Tristan, firstly, back to the clip. UWC. 'n man van Strand. So 'n paar games cricket gespeel, amper cricket gespeel en toe trek jy 'n bietjie terug. Man van Strand choosing UWC, which is very important. It was a choice or was it forced? Kan ons gou begin?
No, definitely a choice. Had a couple of mates that played at UWC. I know Herschel played the year before, and I think it was 1 December. My brother came back just from end of year tour, and I actually had to go pick him up at the airport. And I was chilling at UWC just before I had to go fetch him. So I tried to meet with Coach Chester at the time, and he wasn't in, or I think he was busy. So I left for the airport, went to go fetch my brother. He called me and he asked, listen here, they said you were looking for me, and I said, Coach, I was wondering if there's an opportunity to study at UWC and play a bit of rugby for you guys. Just came from a big injury, and he asked me if I could be there to the next day for a session. I will never forget it, because that session that I came to was a breakdown session.
En hy's met jou sterk, né?
Nee. Ons vir my sulke goedjies,
Tristan, just quickly, those players, we heard the names there. Kudley Arendse.
Ja.
I was manne soos Andre Manuel, Keegan Fortuin, Aiden Kipido, Adrian Paarwater, so baie Jock van Zyl. Ek meen, there's a lot of just the era, the team, and then the freedom. Because that was a final. Ja, Lucian, that was a final. Wat het gelyk het daar, hulle is besig met beach touch. Just quickly for you, in that era, looking back at it now, not saying that's where it started, but that was also a big portion of the introduction of Tristan Leyds.
Yeah, I think it all started the year before, actually, before we all joined. I think a couple of us were playing at the Cavas, at Boland Cavaliers. Andre was at the Cavaliers, Kurtley was at the Cavaliers, Keegan was at the Cavaliers, myself and Aiden, Herschel, we were at Western Province, all playing age group rugby, Currie Cup rugby. And somehow we all kind of like reunited there. We also all played against each other on school level. So we kind of had a understanding of what each guy brought to the game. So when we all, I'd say, joined forces in 2018, it was pretty something pretty special. Because I mean, we could try anything from anywhere, and it worked out for us. I think we were hated by other teams because things were just working for us.
Yeah. So Lucian, when you look at Tristan Leyds and you look at that clip, what goes through your mind?
What is going through my mind at the moment, and Tristan, what I do want to ask you, because there's a lot of guys, you know, in the Boland who have the same body structure that we basically have. How much do you weigh now?
72.
72, I weigh about 77. We're not the biggest guys in the world, and we normally get criticized for our size. Like, how did you overcome that barrier of people telling you, hey, you're too small, you're too this, you're too that? I'm probably sure you've answered this a few times already, so you're probably schooled in this now already. But just for the guys watching at home, you know, Boland guys that are looking forward to, they can also achieve what you've achieved.
You know, there's always people saying that you're too small to play the game because there's the big guys that's going to run over you. Somewhere along the line, someone's going to run over you. You need to make peace with that. You're gonna miss tackles eventually, but my dad would always tell me before a game, my kind, sy enkels is dieselfde groot as jou enkels. Quality. And it's just going for these chop tackles, and sometimes they don't work. Sometimes you even get stepped when you're going for a chop tackle. But I say, being the smallest guy on the field, there's some benefit. There's little gaps that the big guys can't go through. And that's why you're on the field. I mean, the 14 other guys can't go through it. So maybe that one moment that you get, you're going to go through and add 5 points to the team.
Yeah, Tristan, and I just watched that last clip of you quick tapping and going. You said that your captain said, hey, don't go. You eventually ended up going and putting the ball down. Can you just describe what went through you? What was the emotions?
Lucian, is 'n ou fout. Laat hy vir jou sê dis 'n ou fout.
In the moment, well, let me start with back then at UWs, we'd play on Mondays, and obviously we'd get penalties, and then guys would take a quick tap, and sometimes it don't work out, sometimes it work out, but the chat was kan môre daaroor praat. Ons kan môre uitgestel word of ons kan volgende week daaroor praat, but in that moment there, everything happened so quickly. I saw there was a guy on the floor. One of the Canadian players was still having a go at the ref, and as I picked up the ball, Salvin was shouting no, no, no. But I think he was shouting no because I think we already had the game in hand, and he just wanted to slow the game down. But at that moment, I tapped the ball already, and when I looked up, I saw a bit of space here on the right hand side, and next thing I knew, I was behind the try line, trying to let the clock tick down. But as I turned around, the Canadian player rushed me, so I dot the ball down. Next thing I look up, I just see my teammates running at me, and it was a special moment, like, can't put it in words, them jumping and just cheering for me.
Wow, that is amazing, you know. There's so many people that dream about us. Mense wat droom om vir sy land te verteenwoordig, and you actually went on and you went to do it. You know, how many people have gone into camps with a Blitzbokke, but never eventually made it. Just rewind us and tell us, how did it feel when did it happen? How did it happen when you got that call up to say, hey, you're in the mix for this weekend?
Yeah, so I think over the years of training, you you kind of figure out sometimes when you're not in the mix, you count the numbers. Especially at 15's, okay, dit lyk soos dis die 15 wat gaan opdraf die naweek. Miskien is ek nummer 23, miskien is ek nummer 22. Sometimes it don't work out for you, sometimes they go with a 6-2 split.
Yeah.
And thinking about the last week and a half, I could see the personnel that I was training with. I think they were testing me with certain guys, testing combos, and I could see that these are guys that jy weet, as jy manier hoe hulle die mense kan losie.
Like a Zane Davids and a Selvin Davids.
Ja, as jy manier hoe hulle die ouens kan losie, want they are the guys who, when the tough gets going, they're the ones that put up their hand and they lead the team. They do the out of the ordinary things to get the team going. And then, yeah, obviously we had one-on-ones. Got the call to come in, and they said to me, "You're going to be in the mix." And from there on,
Video call France toen, hè?
Straight to my room. First had my prayer.
Wow.
Had my prayer.
Wow, that's amazing. Je krijgt wondervlies waar, letterlijk.
Video call my brother, dinner with the parents, and then from there on, social media wasn't a thing for me anymore. Just shut it out because I didn't want any distractions for the whole up until I got there.
So Tristan, just het julle nog gehoor, hy was in Australië. Toe druk hy sy eerste 3 vir die Blitsbokke die naweek wat verby was. Daai wat hy nou van gepraat het was die naweek. Hy is nou hier by set piece. Kwaliteit kom deur vir jou, Tristan Leyds. You always have a smile on your face. There's a lot of family history and passion. But there's one person I know that very dear to your heart. Jou ouma. Wat altyd daar is. Vertel vir ons net 'n bietjie die storie, what it's about, because if you don't have a why, you're gonna struggle. If you don't have a purpose, dan gaan jy maar die snoesknopie druk en jy gaan laat slaap. So, for you as Tristan Leyds, net 'n bietjie, wat laat jou hart klop? Hoekom is familie vir jou so belangrik?
Yeah, as a youngster, obviously grew up next to the field watching my dad play.
So was hy in 'n platte kloof of in strand?
Nee, hy's in die strand.
In die strand baie belangrik, jy het gehoor? In die strand.
Strandliga. My pa was die kaptein ook op 'n tyd van Strandliga. Mijn jumper.
Baie belangrik.
Elke Sondag in die koerant het ek 'n foto van hom gesien.
Yes.
Obviously my grandfather on my mother's side also a fly-off. And kind of the rest of the family, all rugby players who have a couple of 9s and 10s. Baie min voorspelers. So 2, 3 kies. So ons kan 'n hele span 7 span met die agterlyn opmaak. But yeah, the one thing that stood out for me was my grandmother watched my brother play in primary school once, and he broke his arm in the game. And then she said she'll never go onto a rugby pitch again.
Sure.
So obviously, as a youngster, my grandmother never watched me, couldn't watch me at Bishop's, and that's also where I started enjoying the type of game I play now, the running rugby. But to me, I knew that playing at a high level, sy sit altyd so voor die TV. En dan kyk sy die rugby. Elke Saterdag al. Is dit van die oggend tot die aand kyk sy rugby, and I knew the moment she could watch me play, I could come home and chat to her about how did I play, because she never got to watch me in person, and it was quite special that sometimes when she was still alive, I could come home after games and chat to her about the game, and then sy het 'n paar woordjies gehad om te sê.
Want sy het mos al baie ervaring.
Ja, sy het baie ervaring en weet mos nou eintlik hoe 'n 10 moet speel. She had a couple of words if I had a bad game or not. She knows the game, she understands the game, and yeah, to me it was special, those moments that I played that she could watch, but I know she would have loved this performance over the weekend. It was for me it was pretty special, and I know would have meant a lot to her as well.
But we know, yeah, she's watching you, and I think it's so important to know that what makes people tick. Even in your friends, in your team, make sure you know what makes people tick. And I think Tristan, the passion you have, ek weet as jy kan stit speel, sy dit ook speel. Ek het al hom gesien. Hy wil net speel, hy wil 19, hy worry nie. Ek wil net speel. There was a moment when the doc said, "Dis verby. Niks meer rugby vir jou nie. Jy's klaar. Jou gesig val amper hier in mekaar." There was an incident. I'm taking you back there that when you guys watch Tristan play and you're looking at that, you're like, yo, it looks like this guy doesn't have fear. Because there was a moment when it was taken away from you. Maybe just for the people at home, if you... Ons gaan nou by al die highlights kom, maar is belangrik because there's people that's going through this. Where they say, listen, it's done, it's verby, ek kan nie meer nie. So maybe just from your side.
Yeah, everyone always complains about a hamstring and things like that. Not saying that a hamstring is not a minor injury.
Hamstring is tough.
Could be one of the biggest injuries, yes. But I had an injury that's quite out of the ordinary, and broke my left eye socket. So I actually love wearing caps so that you don't see my left eyebrows a bit raised than the right one. But yeah, 2017, first year under 21 Currie Cup, we got the Lions. Also my first game at fly off since, I think,
School days,
yeah, since under 16. And pretty stoked. I had Herschel Yankees as my 9. So we had
jy al die bolle geskop, né?
Nee. I was baie gehardloop, especially because we were playing at City Park.
Okay, lekker.
Die wind is asof we in St. Gordons Bay gespeel het. Die wind waai heeltyd daar so. I think it's about 10 minutes into the game, break the line, give an inside ball to him, he scores under the poles, we convert, we get back, the call is, let's just try to get out of here, even though we're against the wind. They kick off onto a pod, we exit, they do a quick line out, the Lions do a quick line out, they break our front line, I make a tackle, I get up, in the motion trying to make another tackle, I knock heads with one of my teammates, pass out, the play is going on. Luckily I didn't get a concussion, gum guard falls out of my mouth. Yeah. I had to walk off the field, everything's still fine, the doc's telling me, don't blow your nose, don't blow your nose.
And you blew your nose?
No, definitely didn't blow my nose. And then it just got to a point where I could feel them starting to touch my face, and yeah, I couldn't feel anything. Rush to hospital, find out the specialists get there, Dr. Berezowski, yeah, I'll never forget him, special man there, and he tells me, listen, you have a broken eye socket, so obviously lights are going on, you think, yes, you're putting your head in a rack, so anything can happen. So yeah, I took some time off from rugby, couldn't do much training. I mean, the excessive breathing and things like that, couldn't blow my nose for quite some time. I was quite swelled up. I think at one stage my eye was purple.
Sure.
Yeah. Surgery. And I think it was about 4 or 5 months to getting back into training. And luckily I still had my final under 21 year where we managed to get to the semis. And lost to the Bulls on Newlands. It's quite a tough one to take. But yeah, just those 5 months was tough. Never had another big injury after that up until probably last year. Just before the Currie Cup started, I felt going into that Currie Cup season, this is going to be a good season for me. And we play Marty's outside the DC. And last 5 minutes of the game, someone makes a tackle, swings around, hits my leg, foot stays in the ground, torn syndesmosis, surgery again. I actually showed up to my cousin's wedding on crutches and a moon boot. Yeah, then I was out for another four or so months. and that's basically where your character gets tested. You get to be by yourself, or you don't get to be by yourself, but a lot of the times you are by yourself.
You're forced to be by yourself.
Forced to be by yourself. Everyone's busy training. You just finished the gym session maybe, so you're chilling outside the gym watching everyone training, knowing that you just had surgery, there's nothing you can do, you can't run, you're in a boot, all you can do is gym. It gets on the mental state, but it's just how you behave in terms of your discipline. You know, I gotta go to work, I gotta show up. Somehow I need to get better, whether there is knowledge to the game or getting bigger. In my sense, it was knowledge, because I'm still trying to get bigger.
Tristan, just quickly, so the incident happened, you recovered mentally. Like, what did you decide after that injury? Het jy swakker geraak? Het jy gevoel, joh, ek wil nie? What switch did you make? What did you tell yourself? Because surely there's been a transformation after specifically the eye socket injury.
Yeah, the eye socket, it's I think with most injuries, I think leading up to my first game back was at UWC. Leading up to that, I saw one of the Argentina players, playing with like a face mask. And I was like, no, that can't be me. Like,
Batman.
I can't be Batman on the field. Like, I'm a fly-off. I need my peripheral vision, you know. And the first game back, I think that session I did that I mentioned earlier, that breakdown session, I was just at 10 standing and deliver, you know, sorting out everything, just standing and deliver, make sure that I don't get into a breakdown, because I'm obviously scared to put my head in at the moment.
It's a mental thing, yeah.
First game, Walter Sisulu, which also played in the final, I put my head in a ruck and one of the guys just give me an elbow to the face. First thing I do is touch, see if there's any blood. Luckily the surgeon did a great job. And after that, it's, you know, I think that was the knock that just kind of let me know that, you know, everything's still good. You can still go. Keep pushing. And then from there on, I mean, I think it's with every player. You might have a niggle, you might have pain going onto the field, but the moment you run onto the field, when you're in between those four lines, so much adrenaline, so much energy. I'd say for me, so much freedom that you forget about everything and you just try to play to the best of your ability.
That's amazing. Can I just make a comment here? Bishop Wim Fransman say, make the most of the season you're in. And Tristan, you were speaking earlier that when you got the call, you immediately went to pray. I just want to ask you, your faith during all these seasons, the ups, the downs, the lows, the highs, how important has your faith been throughout this journey?
I've definitely grown stronger in the time that I had my injury, the 4 months, you know. You kind of sit down, why me? Why me again? Or why at the point where I felt that it was going to be probably my best Currie Cup season that was going to come up. And these questions sometimes don't have answers at one point. But I actually had a chat today with someone, and the person reminded me about how I used to complain about going through mental breakdowns and things like that, where it's why always me, and you know, it's just something like that. Yeah. But yeah, getting up every morning, like I said, you have to show up, be thankful, because it's a talent that's borrowed.
Sure.
It's not given.
Yeah.
You can take it away at any time. You're just there to shine his light on the field.
Amazing.
It's a limited time. They say rugby players have a time span of maybe 10, 12 years. But
if you're lucky,
if you're lucky, and if he decides next week, then so be it.
It's next week.
It's next week for you. After that, you need to either grow from that, or you're gonna sulk and probably find yourself in a bad space.
Ja.
So Tristan vir my, lekker UWC, almal sê Deo gaan dit nie maak nie. Hy gaan dit nie maak
Hy's te
nie.
klein,
Hy gaan dit nie maak nie. Ja, hy het loop hier by die Vasti Shield, die manne dronk, maar hy gaan dit nie maak nie. You get onto the big stage, under 21, obviously went through all that phases. What made you different from the other guys that you still stuck in there? Because jy kan baie maklik uit die bus uitgeval het. Want as baie manne wat groter as jy was, miskien beter as jy was, beter gereid was. What do you think was the difference between you just pushing through or just falling by the wayside?
I think definitely have my support system to be thankful for that. Reminding me that obviously a good enough player. Just because I'm small doesn't mean I'm not going to make it or anything like that. And then, like I said, it's about showing up every day.
You need to make a decision.
A while back when I was 20 years old, I had a couple of sessions with the Stormers when my brother was still there, Cheslin Colby was still there, Kurt Coleman and those guys were there. And they used to make fun of it, saying like you've got one body and those things, you need to take care of it. But they also used to say that when you come to work, you've got one job.
Sure.
And that is to get better. You have one job, whether that is, like I said, better with knowledge, better physicality, or just better understanding the game. You've got one job when you go to work. People say rugby is fun and it's our passion, but it's also our job. Yeah. Like you guys go to work to improve, to grow. If you're not gonna grow, you're gonna get complacent, and coaches aren't gonna back you if you're complacent. So I think the thing that stuck with me the most was you've got that one job every day. And that is to get better. So
Tristan, jy was nou bietjie al by UWC, bietjie sevens gespeel, nie te lankie. Altyd wanted to break through. Bietjie al by die Wolfies, altyd 'n draai gemaak met die manne. Now you at the sevens, you get the call, you go, you in the mix. Gesels 'n bietjie die agente gesels en sê kyk die man moet nou kom. Jy kom nou daar. What did you expect and how was reality? Expectation versus reality at the sevens.
I had experience once when Paul True was the sevens coach. So I know how hard those guys trained there at the Blitzbook. I remember that was the hardest I ever trained in my life, Tristan. That's my 5 cents in there as well.
No, I mean in my under 21 year, my last year, Paul True was I think defense coaches.
At Province, eh?
Yes. And he had a chat with me and he asked like, do you want to go to the sevens? And I said to him, it would be nice, but I don't think I'm the player they're looking for, especially I'm not big enough. And, at the time, there were guys, Cecil Africa was playing, Branko de Brea was playing,
Spec
Magic who's playing now, and Justin was playing, we're still playing now.
Yeah.
These guys, they had, I'd say they were the best team on the circuit for
years,
consecutive years actually.
Consecutive years,
I spoke to Ruan earlier. He said there was a season where they won the circuit. They won 5 out of 8 finals.
Sure.
That's something you dream of, winning the trophy before the last tournament even.
Yeah.
But getting to the sevens was just after the syndesmosis injury.
Yes.
And the first day,
Jy het 'n groot squad daar gehad, né? Ja, 'n groot squad. SNC is hy nog Gafoor.
Gafoor, yeah.
Gaff.
He comes to me and he goes, listen, I know you came back from injury, so you can go sub-max on the fitness. And in my head I'm thinking, wow, that's great news.
Sub-max.
I don't have to push like these guys, and I'm running on the side. I think at the time I was running with Travis Ishmael, who also just came back from injury. And he's chatting to me and he's like, Boykie, hier gaan jy werk. Ek sê, ek hoop so van die man, ek hoor hoe die manne praat en ek is 'n bietjie bangerig. And first 2 months, say 3 months even, probably my worst time at the sevens. running up and down, not making the cut for fitness tests.
So wat is die levels daar? Wat jy praat van 'n fitness test. Wat is die levels wat die ouens moet slaan na? So vir die manne voel hierso by die klub, hulle is reg vir daai.
You guys run like a Bronco.
We do broken Broncos, which was a weird one at the start, but the bleep there.
So hulle bleep
You
nog.
need to hit that thing 20 or what?
Yeah, you need to go above
21.
above 180.
Or 180.
180, yeah, 180 is like the starting point. And I think when I got there, I ran my first bleep ever in my life. And I did a 175. So obviously coach wasn't too happy about my score. But yeah,
En wie kon ek die hoogste in toe na raad toe jy hardloop?
I think at the time it was Shakes, yeah. Skipper. He ran at 200, he completed it. And they cut it after him.
Sure.
I think a guy from Poland who's now at the Greek was.
O, ding is Mr. Mart.
Tabu they call him, yes.
Yes.
Tabu was running with Skipper. But I think eventually Skip maybe whispered to him and said, hey, you need to follow up now. I'm the leader. But yeah, these fitness tests eventually, I wouldn't say it got a bit easier, but it just, I got a hang of it now, how to pace myself in these tests. And I think I gained a bit of pace there over the time as well with our SAQ sessions. Yeah.
And the strength and the conditioning
Yes, indeed.
that you guys are doing there.
Not the fastest guy there, definitely not.
Who's die vinnigste?
Well, who's the fastest there now?
Yeah, I don't know.
Depend on situation, eh?
Yeah, depend on
Jy kry
situation.
hom so van die merke af, dan kry jy manne met 'n bietjie stamina.
And there's also kind of like when someone makes a line break,
Who's gonna go catch that guy?
there's like a handful that's gonna turn around
And chase.
and basically tell him you need to earn your spot if you want to be the fastest in this team.
Yeah.
Like I think I had a line break in my first 3 months there. I think it was not even 40 meters. I tried turning around and by the time I turned around I already got chopped onto the ground. I was like, no, things happen way too fast. Yeah.
So Tristan, ek dink vir my by die sewes is nou daar. There's certain strengths that you have. Because that's why you made the team, you made the cut, you were obviously knocking on the door in the mix there. How important is it to actually back yourself in the skill set that you have? Because a lot of time, and as an individual, you come in an environment and then you get inferior. Jy raak so geskok, jy vergeet om te doen wat jy actually goed is in. Vir jou net daai transisie laat jy nou by 'n plek and obviously there's a lot more to learn. I mean, we had Tricky on the show, hy was rookie of the year en toe het hy begin hierdie kat na daai weer gemaak het. So as Staffy buite, but he's back in the mix doing really well obviously with you this weekend. But just making sure that the skill set you have, you're actually putting it on display.
Yeah, I mean it's all about playing towards your strengths. Definitely not I'm definitely not a guy who's gonna go up front to someone and try and bump them over, bump them. You know, that's Ricky in a secret aspect, if I could say that.
Yeah.
Yes, he missed out after his Rookie of the Year season. He missed out on a couple of tournaments, but he's a really hard worker.
Yeah.
Gets up early mornings.
Amazing guy.
Hard work in the gym. He's fast as well, so it's not like you can round him easily. And he played a bit of beach touches as well, so he's got good feet.
Hy ken die strand onder.
Yeah, hy ken die strand onder.
Tristan, you should convince these guys that we should go and stream beach touch rugby. It's for me.
No,
the most
definitely,
beautiful game
definitely. You'll see some different things
happening
there.
there.
Definitely, yeah. But yeah, just getting back to it, like playing towards your strengths. I'm not a guy who's going to take on, so I'll try create. Maybe one of the bigger guys, tell him to come short, to go on a drift. No, I've got quite a good pass. I think I got that from my dad and my grandfather.
Can you broek so 'n bietjie pas?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's still famous for that backdoor against the Chiefs. Don't know what was going through his mind though. But yeah, you know, just knowing that I can put someone else in space, get the attention maybe of two players. to get that guy's attention off my teammate, put my teammate in space. Someone, actually before I went on tour to Australia, someone asked me, how many tries do you plan on scoring? And I said, bro, that's not my job. My job is to create
Yeah.
and
To
to make
assist.
my teammate look better. I need to create tries for my teammate. My points can be maybe converting a conversion or something like that, you know. And yeah, got to a point where I had to convert, missed two to the left, both from the right corner. So, but I managed to get two under the poles and convert my own try. So that was quite nice.
You got some points on the
Got some
circuit.
points over the
Baie
weekend.
belangrik. Ek dink as daar nie enige vrae is hier Lucian, ek dink Tristan for people and players out there, you know, coming to the space, there's a lot of natural ability which we see out there. What is the difference with your mindset now in terms of you've got the natural ability, alles is daar, but die ou buite het ook natural ability. So what is the difference? And then obviously the other one is as well, you're always being compared with your brother, but I know when I look at you guys, I can say dis is beter, Leyds and die. So just how important is that as well, that you know there's a backing, there's a support, it's a phone call away. And then like I said, also for a person out here that they've got the skill set, but what is the difference between actually making the cut and just falling out?
I think the big difference, JP, is, you know, the days you aren't getting selected.
Okay.
That's-
die manne gaan
that's-
Facebook toe. Die coach moet gefire word. Daai coach het my gedrop. Daai coach het my nie gekies nie.
Yes.
En die gaan nou 'n post opsit. Ons gaan 14 mense tag because my lewe is nou aan einde. There's a lot more to go. There's lessons. So on that point, how important is it?
It's no, definitely very important to have a good mental state, and that also maybe sometimes it's they don't have the support from home like certain players do.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have the backing of their parents. Maybe aren't watching them. I see of a neef of a auntie of a oom wat sê nee maar jy het dit nie. Hulle sien dit net nog nie. Not your mom telling you that you know you're the best, or hulle weet nie wat hulle uitmis as hulle nie vir jou kies nie. Somewhere along the line someone also said to me, whoever counted you out can't count.
Sure.
So it's all about your mental prep and dealing with those downfalls. I mean, there's been several times where in the 15s I've gesê die donderdag boetjies hy staat. Ek is in die mix. I'm making peace with it. I'm playing at wing, and then couple of moments just before the flight, maybe the night before the flight, you get a call. Listen here, we got to go with this one. We feel like it needs a bit of game time and things like that. And then you miss out, and then it's you sulk. You sulk.
Dis mos menslik.
Yeah, but you can also sulk for that amount of time.
Yes.
If it's gonna carry on for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then you just your own downfall. You need to pick yourself up. I need to come back better. And the days, it's been months that I wasn't selected.
Sure.
And I'd go home. Obviously, coach said I have a smile on my face, act happy, because I don't want people to chat about it. But then there's waking up the next morning, parents going to work, and my dad hits me with a, gaan wys hulle hoekom hulle nie hoekom hulle jou moet kies. Gaan wys hulle hoekom jy die een is. You know, it's those little things that hey, hier kry ek nog 'n stukkie drive. Maybe today is that day where things change for me. And maybe that day even it doesn't work. But just go the next day, the next day and the next day. One of the players that I play with, Nama Klaba, he has a thing that he puts on social media every morning when he wakes up. And it's weirdly enough, it's a photo of Pablo, but it says, how about we try today?
Sure.
Or let's try again today.
Let's go.
And I think that's his reminder of, even though I'm not getting selected, I'm going to try my best today.
Sure.
I'm going to try my best today.
Sure.
And it's just making that mental switch when things aren't going for you, to show up and to get better
Ja.
and to sharpen your sword basically.
Because Lucian, jy's mos nou coach. Jy gaan moet kies wat se speler vat ek. Die vibe, die
tough.
energy. Jy gaan moet kies and a lot of times Tristan, and I think this is an amazing nugget for the clubs, the players out there as well. When you are not selected, hoe is jy? Almal kan op en afspring as gekies word. But when you are not selected, ek het altyd so Matthew Leroux lekker geterg daar so, as hy span maakie. Sê ek het manne nodig wat vir my quality die water kan opdra. And immediately attitude alles stel op. Nothing wrong with your playing ability, but it's a character test. And I think that is where you come through. And yeah, it's not always perfect or amazing, but people want you in the team. So, Lucian, there's no Tristan Leyds. Ons kan nie nou vir Lucian bel, hy is op die lug. Baie belangrik.
Belangrike man.
So yeah, I think here we have it. I mean, we've heard of the sevens, we've seen. Ek dink jou Tristan, daar's baie druk op die Springbok. Ek was daar by Cape Town Stadium. Hy was taaf. Man, hy was taaf met coachie gechat, met Selwyn gechat. Ronnie Beat het hekkie opgemaak. Montetjie se hekke was oop. Is taaf. Mentally, it's so tough. But now, we need to get behind the team. We need to get behind the guys because this is my words to the people out there as well as to the media. What happens if the guys win 3 tournaments in a row?
Yeah.
Wat dan? Because jy's 'n mens. And I know it's ruthless out there. Man, die mense soek sensasie, hulle soek hy snippets, hulle wil nie vir koerante verkoop. I understand that there's a responsibility. But just from your perspective, how important is it for us to get behind the boys, to get behind the individuals? Want hy's 'n mens. Hier sien ons vanaand, hy's 'n mens.
Ja nee, net van my kant af was baie belangrik dat ons agter ons landsgenote kom, you know. Want aan die einde van die dag is dit die manne wat vir ons verteenwoordig abo. You know, so never mind wat jou opinie is, wat jy dink, van elkeen het sy eie gereg tot op 'n opinie, you know. Selfs met my die naweek, eerste game wat ek nou coach as 'n coach, is 'n friendly game
gewees. Hulle het gefire het na die game.
Na die ek kan nog eens reg op Facebook gaan.
Wel woorde om te sê.
Ja, die man is dit, you know. So maar man kyk maar verby dit, you know, maar regtig Tristan, sterkte vir julle manne. Ek weet julle manne werk hard. Ek weet julle sweet, ek weet julle sit te werk en van ons hier by JSN en elke liewe ou wat saam met ons kyk, hier's 'n hele paar manne wat al reeds lekker boodskappe gestuur het. Sterkte vir julle manne en voorspoed met julle seisoen wat julle gaan aanpak. Vat dit vas.
Is jy nog 'n paar comments daar?
Hier's 'n paar lekker comments ja. Bise Wim sê baie leersaam vanaand, 7 stok op 'n ander level. Hierso sê Denzel Mark David het 'n lekker boodskap hier vir jou Tristan. Sê congratulations Tristan. Thanks to your mommy and daddy for their leadership over the years. Baie dankie aan Eugene Foster het wow gesê. Die manne geniet jou chats vanaand Tristan. Die Gel Squad 7 manne is ook vanaand binne. Hulle is seker jou support Tristan en dalk 'n shout-out vir die Gel Squad. Ek dink hulle speel die naweek by die Scorpions.
Coach Graham en Rudy, hulle wil op die hot seat wees. Hulle moet nog 'n paar tournaments wen vir hulle op die hot seat. Rustig wees.
Maar ja, daai's en Jerome Abrams sê hy stem saam. Hy stem seker hierso saam met iets. Dan het ek gesien hierso comment op YouTube. Denzel Newman het gesê die Seahawks is bo. Maar ja guys, dit was regtig 'n awesome show. Ons het lekker interaksie gehad en die mense dit gelaat.
Tristan, net gou vinnig ietsie, net gou jou brein priek vir so 5 minute voor ons aanbeweeg. Die naweek is dit nou bietjie 6 nasies. So eerste wedstryd Frankryk en Ierland. So France versus Ireland.
Maar hulle speel ons sonder Topon.
Ja, hy is soos nou hy
moet
Tristan
Topon gespeel, hy Topon gespeel en hy nog nie gespeel.
Nee, hy het nog 'n proses van hy moet nog 'n kurs leer.
Ek dink hy en Hooper is nog in 'n proses.
Ja, Hooper is besig om te oefen.
Ek weet hulle wil vir Hooper gerelease het in die Australia toernooi, but I think just 2 weeks before they put out a post or something saying they're gonna hold him back, yeah.
Okay.
So I think the reason they gave him the mic is so that he could watch the games. I think he was sniping from the top, just having an idea what everyone's doing.
I think spelletjies en man dink ons is easy.
Yeah. Kyk,
Grappa by
toe ek in die Kaap die games gekyk het, het ek ook gedink, ja, baie spasie, lekker, maklik. Toe ek op die veld gekom het.
Wat van 'n spasie toe.
Ja, die games maak goud toe. Soos 15's waar 120 kg manne so nee, games maak maar goud toe.
Hy sê die games maak toe. So, net gou vinnig France and Ireland. What can we expect of the game? Just in general. What do you guys think? Want laas keer die tempo was hoog, is physical geweest, die coaches is skerp, die crowd is daar.
Jy kan verwag dat jy kan passie verwag. Van 'n Ierlandse perspektief af, jy kan verwag die bailouts gaan kom, die manne gaan reg speel. Ja, altyd daai manne.
Kicking game Vloksel hier, hoe goed is hy coach?
Speel Johnny nog. 16.
Het hy nog ouderdom op hom?
Hy man het nog die vlag gedra. Johnny retired, daar sê jou seun nou Johnny.
Ja, ag jy hoef nie so.
Sê gou vir my Frankryk, Vloksel hier, hy kicking game van hulle. Hoe belangrik is 'n kicking game? Want mense dink mos kyk ek het voete ek skoppie.
Yeah, but I think for the French it's not so much about the kicking game. French is known recently now for their French flair. I mean, they've shown it in the World Cup. They've shown it multiple times in friendlies. The last Six Nations as well. If it clicks for them, you've got a tough job at hand defending them, keeping them out. A couple of young guys there, and the pack is quite solid. Yeah, I know a couple of guys playing with my brother, so he says they're a bunch of workhorses. So I think we're in for a good game there between the Irish and the French.
Hierso sê iemand JP Frans wen 85-12. Ek dink jy het
klink amper so hy prediction van die naweek.
Kom.
Prediction van die naweek. Gou vinnig
van die klap raak.
Italy, Engeland. Wat verwag ons daar?
Ek dink waar speel hulle in Italië?
Ja.
Kyk, Italië probeer nou al vir jare nuwe systems en hulle probeer hulle rugby.
Franco Smit?
Franco Smit hy's nog steeds die afrigter daar so, né?
Ja, hy's by Glasgow. Hy het mos probeer, ja.
Italië probeer regtig, hulle probeer hard om hulle strukture in plek te kry, maar hulle het nog net nie deurgebreek. Ek dink Benetton met Benetton wat nou so goed doen in die as dit URC nie.
Ja.
Kan hulle dalk bietjie beter doen, maar ek dink net Engeland gaan te veel massief vir hulle man, te veel.
Yeah, I think England's probably going to outsmart them with their plays. I know England's got a running game and a kicking game. The Italians have been growing over the years. You see a different ball game from what they were playing back then when they were getting probably 50s and 40s against everyone. Now it's actually close quarters. Can't recall who, but they beat someone now recently. It was their first time beating them when that 15 came off the bench and scored a try.
Hans Capuzzo, in
Yes.
Wales.
Yes.
We spoke about it in the car. Wolfie may remind us.
You know, things like that, it's just a moment. If something clicks for them, it's going to work. And like you said, Benetton's been growing. Benetton's got a good system over there in Treviso. When we went on tour, I saw how they were training, and they're quite passionate, like the French and the RGs and those teams. Hulle is hy manne wat as hulle die landslied sing en hulle begin huil.
Is dat.
Jy twyfel.
My manne gaan heel teen Oorbleks ook, nee.
Gou vinnig op die laaste ene, Wales en Skotland. Wales en Skotland gaan mekaar 'n bietjie ander. Ons Millennium Stadium.
Moeilik daar.
Wales.
Wales. Die one van julle niks maak nie? Van Russell?
I think Fanny's been having a open off season. Defense-wise, he's been putting in big hits.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's been putting in big hits in the league. But I think I'm going to give it to Wales in the Millennium Stadium.
Net so baie passie, né?
Yeah, net so baie passie. I think my brother played against Wales there. And he said that moment that the instrumentals goes down.
Yeah.
And the Welsh starts singing their anthem.
Sure.
It's a different.
How big is it? 80,000 capacity or more?
Not too sure. I'm not too sure, but I know the guy that got them to their feet with his pace is not there anymore. Reece Hammett. So hopefully they can get another fast guy to just kick the ball through and run after it.
Hy's nou besig om sy retirement geld te maak. Ons gaan nou weer wat Tristan Leyds laat gaan nie. Ons gaan gou vinnig kyk. Klubs, daar's 'n paar vriendies, Lucian.
Ja.
Wat nog opgaan.
Lekker Tristan, jy ken mos nou 'n bietjie op Holland
So
klub.
klein bietjie. Hy gaan so nou en dan mondjie toe ek hou vir hom dop.
Alright, Atlantics van Hermanus speel teen Kleinmond.
Lucian, ek is maar wil sê wat daar gaan gebeur. Ons gaan vlugtig
Ek
hier.
dink Kleinmond. Ek love Atlantics. Ek het my eie Atlantics Wesio daar by die huis. Ek
Lucian het almal se wessies moenie worry.
Mense is van
Klagelag so manne.
Kleinmond. Wat sê jy Tristan Belwel 10 skrik vir niks Houston natuurlik Jean Paul Kellerman se span daarso. Maar nou travel bietjie Kaap toe.
Ja, bly maar by die WP op Jawel.
Ons gaan hy klip rekord en hom weer speel.
Botro 14 Napier meer 'n tweede divisie span. Botro 4 het nou hele manne weer ingekry hoor ek.
Bottervier sal seker goed doen.
Die beurs is oopgemaak.
Hulle het lekker struktuurtjies in plek gesit. Daarso sal hulle wil goed doen en dan kyk ons daar Bonneville Blue
Hy gaan 'n
Woods.
goeie game wees.
Woesta Villa is op pad terug, né? Ek ken mos so 'n paar manne daarso.
Ja, ek het 'n paar manne wat ek al die veld mee gedeel het wat daar by Villa speel sê en hulle sê hulle is besig om weer te bou. So hopelik is dit die seisoen waar hulle lekker in die miskien play-offs kan kom of so te sê die liga wen. Maar is glo hulle sal daai enetjie.
Elim Blues, daar in die Guptas, Lucian, jy was 'n bietjie by Elim gewees. As die stofpad nou uitgesort.
Ja, ek het so ver gery, dit was so ompad. So ek dink Blackleaves.
Dis 'n cool Blackleaves. En dan kyk ons daar, genaal asseblief sort dit die dissipline uit. Dis al laas jy vir die TS gery het. Dis daar. So ons sal weer uit so die genaal asseblief Seahawks, coach Monte se manne, daarso Seahawks baie shopping gedoen, goed op die social media. Hulle het ook 'n playbook, baie belangrik.
Okay.
So
Hy gaan 'n goeie game.
kom ons kyk hoe lyk dit
Maar
daar.
Genadendal het mos die monster.
Ja, maar die monster het getrou. Die monster het getrou, so ek weet nie so mooi nie. En dan
Hulle sê as jy trou is dit
hulle is 'n ander saak.
die troppie performance so bietjie.
Maar jou broer se performance het opgetel na die
Ja, definitief.
Moreesburg teen Piketberg Rhinos.
Moreesburg dink ek gaan hy nou.
So aan beide se manne.
Newtons gaan bou. Wat sê hulle manne van hy? Newtons teen gaan bou.
Ja, julle is mos 'n home ground advantage.
Ons wil die hoofwedstryd van die naweek.
Oppas vir Holland kom af van hy kant.
Holland speel 'n voorgame vir hulle, né? Baie belangrik. Holland en Maties.
Ek kan onthou ek het op 'n tyd Holland en WP speel 'n voorgame vir Villa se derby.
Want anders gaan die mense huis toe.
Anders gaan die mense huis toe ja. Dis dit al voor ons game, dis dit al vol toe. Ons klaar is toe lyk dit daar kom nog mense en ek weet spasie nie.
Mense kom kyk gou.
Dink jy wat sentraal kloppie Overberg die naweek aan hy wedstryd.
Proteas en wat se United is daai? Ek weet nie. Double D. Ek vra mos koning, Double D United. Ek is nie seker wat daar. The River Without the End Pass is 'n manne teen Bonneville United.
Ek sal graag vir 'n 4 sonne en wil sien hulle hoe speel hulle, wat is die skool van hierdie een? Want toe ek hy eerste oefen sessie, ek het nog nooit so 'n vol veld van rugby spelers gesien nie. Dit my is gepak. Dit lyk ek nog hoe as 'n coach, hoe
coach Belwelstasie.
Regtig, dit is massive. So Rafison en gaan definitief 'n span wie som in rekening
Maar kyk ek wil net gou vinnig vir die manne sê, né?
Dit gaan hy
op die socials, né? Hou hy ding op die socials, as sê hulle die numbers. Kyk maar wat se numbers sê meneer, wat doen jy met hy numbers? So ek gooi dit maar net daar in die lug vir die Facebook coaches. Robertson Town teen Canola.
So wanneer hy kyk is die finaliste van die Boland top 12 teen
die Kali Cup wenners. Maar die Kali Cup wen.
Hy gaan die baie gelukkig is daar maar ek dink Robertson Town by die huis. Kom ons kyk wat maak Kelly dan ek dink dit gaan 'n goeie game.
Canola travel, maar ek dink is obviously friendly, so dit sal goed wees om te sien wat
gaan vir wat ja, Safkol teen 6 dae.
Jy ken mos daai Montetjie se manne.
Ja, hy is eintlik my 6 dae is eintlik my spannetjie wat ek ondersteun aso in die wat sit die breë Langeberg
is die wit en rooi.
Wit en rooi.
Is Jung se manne.
Yes, die groot Jung se manne. En dan Safkol weet ek het nou seker
hulle het nou teen Maties mos gespeel.
Hulle het teen Maties gespeel. Hulle het ook 'n goeie season gehad. Ek weet hy ouetjie Konema Hounie het nou by die Griekos gesign van hulle. Maar definitief, lijkt mij 6 games veel weg.
Ja, 6 game moet daar naar Bousandpark toe kom.
Nee, ik denk ik geef hem nog altijd bij 6 games.
Jo, hy is 'n groot, hy is 'n baie skool daarso. Hy is 'n baie skool. Struisbaai is aan die gang. Aston is daai Aston Young Good Hopes. Dis nie dieselfde een teen wie jy gespeel het nie.
Nee, is 'n
ander Young Good Hopes.
Ja, die Good Hopes, dink ek amper speel die naweek hulle speel teen 'n groot span.
Maar hulle het ons fixtures gemaak, so ons maar weer moet kyk waar speel hulle.
Ja, Good Hopes speel teen Mamre. Hulle speel teen Mamre.
Okay, cool. So post die goed, ons het ook sien Vredenburg teen die Baai. Meneer, dit is massive derby. En net breaking news, Veldrif het die top 8 Saldanha kat gemaak want die Weskus Barbarians het uitgetrek.
So Veldrif
is in die
top
mix.
8 toe.
Hulle bring hy soutvis saam. Veldrif.
Gaat Veldrif top 8.
Veldrif meneer.
Baie en hy's baie souterig.
Veldrif.
Die ou glo nie vir my nie. Die ou, hy glo nie vir feite nie. Veldrif meneer.
Nee.
Soutvis.
Regtig.
Kyk
maar hulle het 'n man met die naam Goliath. By Veldrif.
Goliath.
Regtig, hy's 'n agste man, massive groot.
Jy het gehoor, Lucien het gesê Goliath. Westbank Majestic laaste enetjie daar voor ons, ID Consulting baie dankie vir die support. Westbank en Majestics.
Westbank. Die magtige.
Westbank.
Met 'n paar manne wat by UW ook saam gespeel het wat
is hy nie nou aan nie?
Nee, maar Ries bokser rug is af.
Nee, Ries speel nog.
Nee, maar Ries rug was af laas jaar.
Is dit?
Ja, hy het baie gespeel nie.
Yes,
ons hoop Ries boks kom terug.
Ek weet daar was sprake Lucien van Shay wat ook Westbank toe gaan.
Maar Shay werk nou aan die Mamasbury.
Weet jy of dit waar is jy saam met
Hy trek 'n bietjie waar daar.
Ek het die boys gesê hulle my net laat weet waar hulle speel. As ek 'n kansie kry sal ek tyd maak om hulle te gaan kyk, ja.
Hy love die klub rugby. Hy
kom in. Moes maar nog maar altyd 6 dames.
Ja,
I love gees. Ek was laas jaar by die derby.
Is massive, nee.
Yes, is massive.
Is groter as top 12 games hy, nee.
Ja, is ekstra.
6 dames.
Ek weet nie waar kry
die dorp maak 10 uur, 12 uur maak alles toe.
Ek weet nie waar kry hulle die ekstra mense in die dorp, want die dorp is net so groot. So ek weet nie,
maar definitief hy game vir
maar julle
die jaar uitsaai.
Daai is die aksie. Losing keeper Tristan Leyds. Dit was 'n set piece. Ons het lekker gesels deur die mense deurgevat. Baie belangrik. Membership kom in die mix. Dat ons nog meer aksie kan bring, meer goedjies vir julle kan deel. Baie dinge wat ons moet nog lekker die profiles manne inbring, die manne van the people of the soil, we need to bring them to the couch. Losing keeper. Enige laaste woorde vir die mense by die huis?
My laaste woord, ek moet hierdie man bedank dat hy uitgekom het. Jy weet die man het 'n besige skedule, you know. So Tristan, baie dankie vir jou tyd, baie dankie vir jou moeite dat jy uitgekom het. En het actually dit was 'n lekker fun gesprek. Ek dink vir al die sewes wat nou nog aangaan, het die manne lekker ingetune en die man het lekker waarde gekry het vanaand. So baie dankie vir jou en baie dankie dat jy uitgekom het. En ja, vir almal wat ingetune het en wat gekyk het, baie dankie vir jou wat ingetune het, wat gekyk het. Baie dankie vir elke liewe comment, baie dankie vir die wat geshare het. Van my kant af wil ek net hê julle moet 'n lekker aand verder hê. Geniet die rugby die naweek. Los die vuisgeslaanery by die huis. Keep the violence on the field. En die manne af van Grabouw, ek sien vir julle manne Saterdag so op die Boland Stadion. God bless.
Tristan Leyds, enigiets van jou kant af?
No, just thanks for having me, guys. Was an honor chatting to you guys. Dank die manne agter die skerms het jy geglo het. Ek wil sê you were one of my coaches at one stage. But yeah, appreciate the chat. Couple of tough questions here. Had to keep a couple of tears back, you know. Yeah, like I said, the mental side of things got tough at a stage. But thanks for having me and it was a good chat.
Enige boodskap vir iemand daar buite wat 'n bietjie mismoedig is. Hulle het 'n droom, hulle het 'n begeerte, hulle wil dit maak in die lewe. Enige iets van jou kant af. Because you're a child of the soil, lekker aan strand gespeel, easy. It wasn't set on the table that you're just gonna gonna rise out. It was altyd maklik.
Yeah, I think over the course of the show, I've been talking about showing up and going to work and getting better each day. But I think mostly just keep on keeping on. you know. If things aren't going your way, keep on working hard. Things are going your way, you got to keep working hard to set that standard, you know, and so that others match your standard, and eventually you're going to get to a point where you're going to be selected, and you're going to start feeling good about yourself. You're going to start feeling good about yourself. But then, the day you don't get selected, you know, like I said earlier, whoever counted you out, can't count.
Hallelujah.
So dat jy het gehad, ons het vir Lucian Kipiro, Tristan Leyds. Ja, dis hy gewees, Tristan Leyds. Hy man wat 3 druk in Australië, like ons sit op die set piece is hy. Ons het hom hier gehad vandag. Baie dankie vir SA Rugby, wat hom release het. Baie belangrik, so we follow the channels, we follow the protocols. Baie dankie vir JJ en die manne, daarso, good luck with the season. Van my kant af, daar weer is, get better. Make sure that you get better. Get better, be consistent, and very important, be nice to other people. Why? On your way up, if you are rude to people, guess what? On your way down, you must pass them. Hulle sê, wind vir jou uitskop, jy wil dit hê nie. So very important, be nice with people, respect people, lift people up. Ja, dis van ons kant af, the set piece was Woensdag aan. Ons is weer terug volgende week. Totsiens.